All right. So hello, everybody. Welcome to our highly anticipated webinar, Future Proofing Success in a Talent Scarcity World and How Servicenow Partners Can Stay Ahead. I'm your host and moderator, Oscar Sanchez, and I am delighted to see you joining us today. Before we get into today's insightful discussions, let's set the stage. In an era where the demand for ServiceNow talent is at an all-time high, organizations worldwide are facing the challenge of finding the right professionals to support their ServiceNow journeys. And in this webinar, we will explore the innovative solutions to address the global scarcity of ServiceNow tech professionals and the game-changing impact of the Rise Up program. I would like to start to introduce our lineup of speakers today. First, I would like to introduce Tanya Tipana. She's the Director of Workforce Development Placement Partnerships at ServiceNow. She brings over 20 years of experience in workforce and organizational development. Tanya is passionate about helping businesses think differently about talent and developing strategies to bridge the digital gap. We also have today with us Arjan Van Asperen, who is the Senior Director of Delivery at AltiaTek. And Arjan will shed light on how AltiaTek has partnered with ServiceNow to address the talent shortage challenge and provide nearshore talent on the rise to meet the growing demand for ServiceNow professionals and showcasing how talent is being developed in Honduras and the broader implication for businesses looking to expand their ServiceNow capabilities. So today's agenda, first, we will discuss the global talent shortage dilemma and how the Rise Up program effectively addresses it. We will then delve into the Partner Talent Placement Initiative, which also brings together ServiceNow partners to co-train and certify new talent, preparing them for meaningful contributions for projects and remote administrations. We will also address the challenges and benefits of providing ServiceNow services from Honduras. And then finally, we will explore how AltiaTek facilitates partnerships with other ServiceNow partners, offering dedicated teams ready to support European and US-based markets. Now, we want to make sure that this webinar is as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please do not hesitate to type them into the Q&A section, and we'll do our best to address as many as we can at the end of our discussion. So let's jump in real quick into our conversation today. And I would like to start, Tanya, by asking you this question. I understand that the data and the skills gap within workforce is getting wider. In your view, what companies need to do in order to stay on top of this?
I think first of all is understanding what is actually driving that gap and how is it looking today. One of the key discussions in Davos 2023 was all about that increase in labor shortages and widening digital and data gaps. But if we take a little bit step back and look like how does the recruitment trends look at the moment in the market, what we're seeing is organization hiring trends around that experienced talent being around 70%. But why we care about that? Why it's so high? Because we have an aging workforce, first of all, and then also we have accelerated digital transformation. And if we look in our current talent and skills out in the market, it's definitely not meeting that. It's not developing at the same level. So lots of the tech companies and other companies as well, it's feeling that pinch. So they cannot find that talent in the market. And what we also seen with that very kind of top heavy experience high level, we're seeing individuals rotating from one organization into other and driving also their hiring cost quite high. And lots of companies are just really feeling, okay, I just hired talent and now they're gone. So one of the key thing is organization, businesses starting to think the talent differently. And it's not necessarily about the roles anymore, but it's concentration of that fluid skills and how you can get the talent and support for your business as and when required, and building different type of talent models. That's going to be key going forward in the future.
Tanya, and when we talk about the ServiceNow ecosystem, as we know, the economies are sometimes struggling to find the right talent and at the right cost. So how does the Rise Up program help and solve the global shortage of ServiceNow tech talent?
So ServiceNow exactly had the same problem that I was detailing, that lots of our customers and partners were struggling to find the talent as and when they need it. And of course, we are in that fortunate position, growing quite rapidly, and everyone wanting a piece of us. But then we have customers and partners who cannot go forward with their projects because the talent is not available. So we created a program called Rise Up to help with our customers and partners finding the talent as and when they need. And our vision is skill 1 million people in the ServiceNow platform by end of 2024. Rise Up is a global program, and it's ensured that all of our customers and partners do have a certified talent as and when they need. But one of the key thing also to mention is that Rise Up program also concentrate underrepresented community and helping them to change their lives for better for them and for their families.
Now, what do you consider are the benefits from the Rise Up program for ServiceNow customer and partners?
I think that one of the key benefits is that you always have the certified talent available, and our partners are able to provide that talent at scale. And of course, it's always thought on latest and greatest ServiceNow content. But then, of course, is that flexible and cost-effective solution for our customers and partners when they require the talent.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more about some customers' testimonials that you may have?
Absolutely. So these are 3 of our customers in the UK. Each one of them had exactly the same problem, that they could not find the talent. We had to the point that one of our customers here were actually trying to hire the talent for a year and a half and could not find. But through the Rise Up program, they were able to source the talent and very successfully, and they were able to implement and develop the platform for their needs.
Wow, that's really interesting, Tanya. And, how can we bring the Rise Up program to rising economies and help and support ServiceNow partners and customers?
Well, I think the key here is to mention that in order kind of to scale and what we're trying to achieve and getting the Rise Up program off the ground, the key is working with the partners and having partners. Obviously, it's the global program, but it's a key working with the local partners who also think globally but act globally and understand the local market and bring opportunities in their local area. And one of the great example of our Rise Up partners is AltiaTek. And in the emergency economies, and Arjen, I'm going to pass to you to tell a little bit more. What does AltiaTek do under the Rise Up program?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Tanya. Thank you for giving us that context of the tech shortage and the Rise Up program. And now we can talk a little bit more about how AltiaTek is contributing to this. But let's first make sure we have a very basic question out of the way. Oscar already mentioned it. We are a company that have set up shop in Honduras in Central America. So where is Honduras located in the world? So you see here a map of North, Central, and South America. And then in the next slide, you will see the country Honduras. there in where the arrow is, where the hand is pointing at. So it's part of Central America, but it's still very close to the US. Honduras, as a country, is a place in the world that needs more support from the more developed economies. There are programs in place to help the most poor part of the country, and we aim with this program and setting up shop as a Servicenow partner to making sure that the middle class gets stronger, and the middle class will help to make the local economy stronger and more stable. Secondly, in Honduras, there's a lot of potential. We'll find great tech talent with experience in software development. They have a good match with the US culture. It's close, but the Honduran people, they have a close relationship with the US. And the culture that the people typically have is going the extra mile for their customer. They have great language skills, and the talent is very eager and willing to learn new things. And talking about language skills, Honduras is actually rated second on speaking English as a foreign language from all Central America countries, only after Costa Rica, and a little bit better than Mexico. You can see here on the screen several scores related to different countries in LATAM. And you can see that Honduras has a good score. And these are not just statistics, but we know for a fact that English speaking is not a problem because we also test our people. At the moment that we hire them, we do a English language skill test. And for those people that might need a little bit more help, we offer extra language courses in order to help improve the business English or the terms used that you have in the Servicenow projects. Speaking English in school or speaking English in the university is one thing. We're making sure that they feel comfortable and they feel well prepared when they're in the business setting of Servicenow. Now, the Honduras staff can be a great complement or an extension of your US-based staff or your Mexico-based staff or even European staff, mostly because they're nearshore, and we will talk about that more, and they're bilingual, English and Spanish. Let's take an example where there's a US customer that is rolling out a new part of their Servicenow journey. It's a global company. So here, working with AltiaTek means that we have people that can both speak with, let's say, business owners, platform owners that might be in the US, but we can also speak easily in Spanish with people that are going to use the platform, or maybe there's a part of the company that is outside the US that speaks Spanish, so we can very easily use both languages. Or there's maybe a specific Spanish-speaking customer, not a problem, right? So the bilingual has multiple advantages.
Well, thank you, Arjan. Thank you for sharing those insights. They are very deep and helpful for that. It will help us to understand a little bit more about Honduras. Can you, share with us what are the challenges that you have found when providing Servicenow services from Honduras?
Yep, certainly. So there's several things you need to overcome to become a successful partner in Honduras. To allow for great customer service and a customer experience, you need to have a great network connectivity. The local government in Honduras not always provides a reliable or stable power to homes and to offices. So there are some power outages that happen every now and then. And you must understand the local law and how to get benefits like the ones that the Honduras government has, like they set up a free trade zone. And you must build, of course, that Servicenow talent group and expose them to Servicenow, not only in a learning setting, but also to get a real hands-on experience in the platform.
Okay, and Arjan, and how did AltiaTek and Honduras confront these challenges?
Yep, I can talk more about that. So in the case of Honduras, we decided to set up shop in San Pedro Sula, which you can see here on the map, which is on the west side. And this is the region of the country that produces most of the Honduras GDP. It's the industrial capital of Honduras. The area is nearing 1 million inhabitants, and we'll find a lot of bilingual speaking persons. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. There are 20 universities in the country, both private and public, and we've teamed up with the major ones to source talent. And we are developing a program where we, just as the RISE Up program does as well, they're also connecting to universities to provide courses in the universities to raise interest in the Servicenow platform, and so we can also connect to the talent. But not all talent that we have in our company comes straight out of a university. We have plenty of people that have previous experience. They're full stack developers with several years of experience in that business, and now they've jumped on the opportunity to learn more about Servicenow. Now, in order to overcome the infrastructure challenges, as I mentioned before, we are located in what is called the Altia Smart City. This is a business park. It has several office towers, and there are many companies there that mainly offer BPO services. And BPO services are business process outsourcing services. An example is a outsourced customer experience center or a call center. And so, as I mentioned, the infrastructure required for working in a nearshore center has already been built and is in place. So AltiaTek is located in that Altia Smart City, and more than 6,000 people work there every day. It's an attractive place to work. On the campus, there's not only the office tower, there's also what they call the RecCen, or the recreational center, where employees can enjoy their lunch, coffee, take a break, do some gaming. And right next to it, there's a shopping mall with banks, pharmacies, even a cinema. And next to the cinema and next to the shopping mall, you can see here on the picture, you can see on the upper right side, you can see a red building. That is the campus of one of the Honduras tech universities called UniTech, where we also find talent. And other universities are not far away. Now, Altia Smart City already solved those problems in terms of connectivity. It has triple communication redundancy. It has its own power generators that kick in case there's a power outage. And it's powered by solar there where possible, but it also offers safety for the employees. Everybody needs to be registered. There are badges. There's a security and safety team that makes sure that the people can work and focus on their work while they're in Altia Smart City. So Altia Smart City is the home of AltiaTek. Our staff sits together in this modern office. They work on projects together, and they learn from each other because they're all co-located, or the benefits of working from an office. And they get support and mentorship from experienced Servicenow team leaders, people that have been working in the ecosystem, 3 to 5 years. And part of the infrastructure as well is that we have set up Skillnow. Skillnow is our dedicated training facilities. It has room for 40 plus students at the same time, and it's used for training sessions on site, hybrid, remote, as well to work on practice projects. So that kind of sums up on what are the challenges that we have had and how do we overcome those.
So this sounds a really good match, obviously what the Rise Up program is all about. And obviously one of the key elements of Rise Up is resolving that tech talent shortage that I mentioned before. So could you be able to tell me a little bit more how AltiaTek is contributing towards that object?
Yep, I'll be happy to give more insights there. So when you see here on this slide on the left side, what I'm trying to show here is that the market is focusing on the more experienced level staff. And I guess both customers and partners are kind of fighting with each other to attract and to retain these experienced consultants. Actually, I've seen customers bidding against each other, or people with experience jump from one partner to another partner. So many people or many companies are focusing on that senior technical consultant. So there's a shortage of these people, as we mentioned, and it's hard to retain them. So we sat together at AltiaTek with the team, and we thought about what would it take to get more people with experience quickly. And basically, you see that on the right side of the screen. We know that building talent requires knowledge and training as well as experience. And we know that people will grow over time from a junior level to a mid-level to a senior level. This is not something specific to Servicenow, but this is what is key. So we started off with a very solid 5-month curriculum for our talent. Some other partners, they will train their staff and they say, okay, go and take a 3-day course on this, take a 2-day course on that, try your exam and you're good to go. We've looked at that a little bit differently. So they not only learn those basics, we follow the Servicenow learning path as they are the best practices, but we also apply the knowledge that the students have gained in practice projects. And next to that, they work on their consulting skills, presentation skills, negotiation skills, these type of skills. They also get certified in Scrum Agile, which is something that is a best practice as well. ITIL 4, the Servicenow Now Create implementation methodology. They do an instant upgrade. We have been teaching them how to do e-bonding and more. And the learning in that first 5 months doesn't stop there. Servicenow offers lifelong learning. So consultants can keep up with the platform and they can go deeper into an application suite like ITOM or ITAM. And we also have a strict process on quality control. So we follow the Now Create methodology and we use Scrum. Our consultants, they work on user stories, and we focus heavily on code peer reviews, several quality reviews, also by the experienced team members. And they document the testing steps in detail, all with the objective to get it right the first time. And we will catch any defects or anything that is not working well first time before we present the work to our customer. So we realize that we have a mix of talent and we have enforced stronger quality controls.
And that is a very important aspect, Arjen. Can you elaborate, please, a little bit more on how the way of working impacts the quality of work?
Yeah, sure. We call it the high-performance team approach. So you see on the right side of the screen that traditionally the way that you get people on a Servicenow project is you look at the availability of your talent and you will assign a person for the account A on project 1, like ITSM, or maybe 2 consultants get assigned. And that means that the experience and the knowledge that those 2 people have is basically the knowledge that the customer has access to. And it can be limited. Those 2 consultants have worked on an X number of projects in different industries, but that's typically what happens. So what we do at AltiaTek, and you will see that's more on the right side of the slide. We assign multiple accounts and projects to a team of consultants. The team needs to deliver on that what is needed for those different accounts, for those different projects. And that team is comprised of junior, mid, and senior level staff. And the combined knowledge and experience of the team is at the disposal of the customer for the projects. So what you will see is that people will start to work together. They exchange knowledge, and they say, hey, I have this story, and maybe a person says, well, I already solved that problem with another customer. Or if that person doesn't have that experience yet with that part of the platform, they can just go and ask around in the room and say, hey guys, I'm trying to solve this and this with a virtual agent. And oh, there's somebody that will raise their hand and say, okay, I can help you with that. I've worked on a virtual agent with another customer. So this is important, right? That we have the team together, as it means that junior level people feel very supported. They learn quicker, and at the same time, the mid and senior level people that are part of the team as well, they guarantee to have the right approach based on their experience, because an approach you can learn in your training, but it also comes with more experience. You understand how to do it right, and to offer the right quality, right? And that relates back to those quality checks that I mentioned. To put that in a little bit more context, we operate with 3 layers. The lower layer is that Skill-Now training layer that is on a regular basis adding more junior people that are well trained, as I mentioned, a 5-month initial training path. And that also takes care of lifelong learning. And then the middle layer are the technical consultant teams. You see only 3 teams here, but in reality, there are more teams, and we are ramping up to add more. So they sit together in our Center of Excellence in Honduras. As I mentioned, they work on several accounts. They are responsible for making those accounts successful, and they work on different Servicenow products, such as ITSM, CSM, and maybe ITOM, or ITAM, or procurement. And then you see in this diagram the upper layer. That's the consulting layer. So we also work with US onshore consulting people, like a business process consultant who would focus on getting the right functional solution fit, an engagement manager who would focus on the timeline, the budget, and expectations, or an architect that focuses on the right technical solution and the best practices. So they all work together in order to provide a great experience, while we have a process with everything that I mentioned before that scales up our talent pool. Now, to sum up the benefits, the high-performance team model we apply means that we mix the experience in industries, right? I've worked on a company in healthcare, and I've worked in a company in finance. But they both use the Servicenow platform that is very beneficial. Customers benefit from the knowledge that is shared between the solutions that we already implemented within the team. And the team members learn from each other. And as a group, there's more knowledge than if you have a 1 or 2 persons. With that, and with those dynamics in where we check each other's work, where we ask questions, where we do testing steps, where we have actual very active knowledge sharing, it means that we have a lot of learning going on. We reduce our reliance on senior staff only, and basically we boost the learning curve. There's the little graph here. It's kind of like a traditional learning curve. And what we are trying to do is making sure that learning curve gets accelerated. And if that happens, then we boost careers, right? And that's where it all comes back again to building up the talent pool. We all want to work with those senior, mid-level people, but we also want to give the opportunity for the junior people to boost their careers and to get a great career in ServiceNow.
Oh, Arjan, it looks really exciting. And can you tell me a little bit more about how people has responded to the Rise Up Challenge that AltiaTek took in Honduras?
Yep, great feedback actually. Some customers, they say that they're happy that they can contribute to the growing talent pool and give something back to a nearby developing country and a emerging economy. Local press has mentioned that it's great for the young talent to find an opportunity to work and build a career in such a innovative platform as Servicenow, and it will help and build and make stronger that middle class. Before AltiaTek set up shop, local people were not able to start a ServiceNow career. Other customers say, hey, the cost benefits that I get from a delivery from a nearshore location, that's great. I can get more work done, but I use the same budget. The talent itself is eager just to go and apply what they learned in their 5-month training and make their ServiceNow career progression. And we also talked to ServiceNow partners who are already thinking about setting up a nearshore team to support their European or US-based teams. But now with AltiaTek already operating from the Altia Smart City, they can find talent with us as a partner. And we not only provide the talent and that delivery process that I mentioned, but we also take care of things like career development, the continuous learning, the payroll, the laptops, the offices, recruitment, etc. Basically, what we can do is we can offer a dedicated team to them that can get started right away.
That sounds really great. So what sort of challenges do you have?
Well, the challenge that we saw so far is that some people have a certain image, or I almost want to use the word misconception of what it's like to work with a team sitting in another country that you don't know much about and you're worried about things. How is this going to work? Will I have the right quality? Will they actually understand me? So we had to work through, let's say, with experience and with actual examples that the English level is fine. It's very easy to work together because we're in the same time zones, and the quality of work has been good. So we have been overcoming, and we have been trying to change that image. As I mentioned, we focus on that quality control with the peer code reviews and platform best practice reviews with the experienced people, right? That was another image or idea that people had. Well, if you're setting up shop in Honduras where nobody has learned ServiceNow before, how do I know that I get the right solution? Well, we are mixing the team with the experienced people. We work in the same time zone as the US, which is very practical. And as I mentioned before, English level is not a problem.
And Arjan, I know that, for many of us, working with a team in another country is something not new, right? Now, the concept of offshore and nearshore already existed. Can you elaborate a little bit more about why to apply it here in the context of ServiceNow Rise Up partnership?
Yep, Oscar, I think you're right. Nearshoring is seeing a rise in popularity, as you can find talented people that are in your own time zone, speak the language, and they're well prepared. And you enjoy the cost advantage that it brings to the fullest. Like I mentioned before, there was a customer that says, well, I can get more done with the same budget. And we see this in other industries as well, where LATAM nearshoring complements the local onshore teams, like in automotive or even aerospace, this is happening. So nearshoring has some advantages versus offshoring, and let me explain that first. So an example for US is that nearshoring, it means working with people in Central America or in Mexico. And offshore means working with people in other time zones like Asia, like India or Philippines. So nearshoring offers several advantages, mostly related to working in the same time zone, right? You can meet with each other throughout the project at the time that you as a customer need to. Not always everybody is available in the mornings. You can also have calls in the afternoon. The talent availability is great. We see there's a lot of talent coming from the universities who are looking for their next job. And the cultural match, right? We're practically neighbors. We understand each other easily. So that's offshoring, nearshoring. I would also like to mention that nearshoring business is not something new for AltiaTek. Even though we did set up as a Servicenow partner like a year ago, but we are part of a bigger group of companies called GK Global. And our GK chairman, Yusuf Amdani, has been in the nearshoring business from Honduras for more than 30 years. He started in textile manufacturing. He moved into industrial parks, business parks, and now with this investment that he's doing, he's bringing cutting-edge software technology careers to Honduras. Actually, he has a very interesting podcast with Forbes on his life story. I can recommend it so you can get a little bit more idea of what drives a person in order to make these type of business decisions. But his message basically was, why should we stop at creating non-technology jobs? What technology that is promising, innovative, growing can we bring to Honduras?
Oh, Aryan, and in a nutshell, to wrap it up, what recommendations can you give for customers or partners who are looking to work with a nearshore talent partner and want to accelerate their delivery to their customers?
Yep. I think we have a slide on that. Yep. Thank you. Basically, find a partner that's there for the long run, who understands what it took you to make your business successful, and understand also that talent development is an ongoing process. Setting up a company or setting up a group of talented people the first time doesn't mean that you are successful on the long term. People, as in all jobs, they will move after some time to a next career opportunity. So you need a partner that can offer a full package. And also, for example, takes care of selection and recruitment when you are replacing team members or if you want to grow the team. Important is to have a mix between the new and emergent talent and talent with several years of experience. So we need to be able to attract that right mix because they complement each other. And that is what makes our model sustainable. As we're constantly adding new talent that learns from the people with the experience, while, as you see on the slide as well, while being cost effective, allowing your customers to do more with the same budget.
Great. Okay, excellent. Aryan, thank you for sharing these valuable insights, and Tanya for letting us know more about RiseUp. And now finally we can see how both join together and create value in emerging economies like in Honduras. Now I would like to open the floor for questions, and I see some notes here. Let me check real quick in our Q&A box. Give me just 1 second. Alrighty. So the first question that I have right here is, how long does it take to have a talent available, or do you already have talent available? Aryan, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yep. So we have talent available now. We have 30 people certified in CSA and in CIS ITSM, and they're learning more. And we also have the next cohort of another 15 people who just completed their CSA, and they are working on their CIS ITSM, building and expanding the team, getting more talent. It will take some time. The learning path is about that 5 months, but we can combine project work with the learning path as we have the team approach, right? So in reality, that will be a little bit shorter, but yes, we have talent available now.
Thank you, Aryan. And then the next question that we have is, where can they learn more about what AltiaTek is doing for partners, and how can they hook up with AltiaTek?
Okay, yeah. Well, you can obviously visit our website on AltiaTek.com. You can contact us through the LinkedIn page. You can get in touch with our sales team. You can reach out to me. There's many ways where people can reach out to us and ask us some more questions, and see how we can set up a partnership and how we can help you scale up your team.
Perfect, Arjan, thank you. All right, so we are getting close to the end of this webinar. In this webinar, we explore how the RISE program is helping to close the technology talent gap in the world, and where we saw an example of how a partner like AltiaTek has applied that program in an emerging economy in Honduras, and what challenges we face when setting this talent in nearshore. The results are there. Much more tech talent available to work on your Servicenow projects. We have reached the end of our webinar journey today, and I want to express my gratitude to our speakers, Tanya and Arjan, for the incredible insights and experiences shared today. Thank you for making this webinar a success. For our attendees, we appreciate your time and active participation. I encourage all of our attendees to contact Tanya and Arjan, as they can make their expertise available for you and keep the discussions going. Once again, thank you for visiting our website, and you can go to AltiaTek.com or follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. Please stay tuned with us for more exciting events in the future. And finally, on behalf of the AltiaTek team, thank you very much for your attention today, and we hope you have learned and enjoyed this event. See you again next time, and until then, take care and goodbye.